I'm just going to go ahead and drop a few names of the viral content creators that we are seeing out here in these YouTube streets that are just blown up within the last couple of months. Maybe if you do the same thing, it might work for us. So don't be hating. I ain't come on here to hate on nobody. I just got to share this with you today, honey. I don't want you to have your hopes up. I bet you've seen some of your favorite viral content creators blowing all up on YouTube, out here in these YouTube streets. And you might feel like just because they did it, you can do it too. Well, listen, I hate to be the one to drop some bad news, but everything ain't for everybody. Now, I know I've said in past times, and I apologize if I steered you wrong in any kind of way, that YouTube is in easy mode. I'm not saying that it's not. Yeah, it can be. But just because somebody else blew up on YouTube with one video or maybe two videos, that does not necessarily mean that you're going to get the same results as your favorite viral YouTube content creator. And listen, I still say, yeah, YouTube is probably on easy mode, but it all depends. It all depends on being in the right place at the right time. It's all about the season that you post these things, what your topics are, and who it resonates with. Because Mr. Algorithm, sometimes he just want to be hard-headed, and he does not cooperate with us and give us the results we want right away. Now, as an outsider looking in at your favorite YouTube creator that's went viral off of one video, maybe two videos, outsiders looking in might feel like, oh, she did that just like that, or he did that just like that. Well, baby, that's not always the case, because we don't know sometimes their backstory, what they went through to get where they are. And a lot of times they don't just pop up overnight. So let's get that straight. It's not going to always be an overnight success, but you just got to keep grinding. Now, what worked for one person, what worked for that person, it don't always work for everybody. I'm not trying to sugarcoat this thing and trying to make people try to sell these false dreams. I'm just like the next person. I want to see success. I want to get those viral videos and blow up. But just have a reality check that might not be the case in your case. But just keep grinding. Keep at it. Don't give up. But we don't want to sell you that false dream. We don't want you to just think that just because you're on the outside looking in, that's automatically what's going to be your case. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop a few names of the viral content creators that we are seeing out here in these YouTube streets that have just blown up within the last couple of months. DoorDash. Now, DoorDash, if you hadn't heard of DoorDash, then baby, you must have been living up on the rock, or you just don't watch YouTube. This young lady has went completely viral in the last couple of months. And basically her story was she was a Uber driver, or DoorDasher, and she began to give daily stories on her life as a DoorDash driver. The ins and outs, how she was, the amount of money she was making, how people treated her. Maybe I hadn't watched a lot of her videos, but I do know that DoorDash just blew up, and that was her life story. But you know, we look on from the outside, might think that this just happened for her, but from what I understand, she's been on YouTube for several years, and it wasn't just overnight success. She had to be at this a long time, and it just so happened that one thing that she happened to post about, it just resonated with so many people, because people are all about this, what it's like on these 9-to-5 jobs and the things they have to put up with. And she just gave her story, started talking about how much money she made. And that's what people were really into. And that's something that people just want to hear about. And the algorithm picked it up and people started watching it. And so, yeah, she blew up. But let me tell you, it wasn't overnight. I'm sure she had to do quite a few different videos, and plenty of them flopped. She just happened to find the perfect topic to talk about. And YouTube just blew up in her favor. The algorithm just began to shoot her videos out to so many people. Now, the other person who is like pretty recent, and you know what, this young man's and his wife, or girlfriend, or wifey as he called her, I'm just as excited as he was when he began to put out his videos about how he got great success, and seemingly it was overnight, but he gave a little bit more of a backdrop. Now, this young man and his wife, girlfriend, wifey, this young man is Dante London. Now, if you ain't heard about Dante London, I dubbed him the YouTube King, honey. He's the reigning king at this time. So, yeah, he was another one that looks like he just blew up overnight. And he began to tell people how his video blew up. Now, people don't go to hating on Dante. Don't be hating on Dante, because only thing he doing is telling people what worked for him. He giving his testimonies of what worked for him. So, I see a lot of comments talking about it don't work. Dante's lying and all this stuff, and he's just selling false dreams. No, 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 no. I can't say that because the young man, is just telling us, the YouTube viewers, what worked for him. Now, like I said earlier, what worked for one person or two people or even three or four, five people, it might not work for you. So don't get upset with these people. When we see these content creators out here, the ones that really appear to be genuine, they're just sharing what worked for them. They're trying to give us tips on how maybe if you do the same thing, it might work for us. So don't be hating on Dante. Don't be hating on DoorDash. I ain't come on here to hate on nobody. I'm just here to tell you that it just might not work the same. You might not get the same results using the same tactics and the same strategies that they're using. So we ain't all about trying to sell no false dreams. And I'm not here to crush your bubble because I want to blow up too. So all I'm saying is we don't know what some of these people went through to get where they are. So that's why I would suggest you do you. You be yourself. There are certain things that, yes, we know we need to try to do to make our videos more visible, for our video to reach the right people, to reach the right audience, and in order for the algorithm to pick it up. So, of course, one of the main things, is people are very visual. And if you have a thumbnail that you see flash up on that screen and it looks interesting, especially when it comes down to talking about money and finances, how much money you're making, how much YouTube is paying you, most of the time, if that's what you're into, you're going to click on that video. You're going to click on that thumbnail just to see what's going on, because that thumbnail is what's going to draw you in. It's what's going to be like popcorn popping. You know how it smells when you go to a movie theater and you might not even be hungry. You might not even want nothing to eat because you already done said you done stuck your pocketbook, you done pack your backpack with a couple of those little snacks that you get from the Dollar Tree, and you already said you're not buying no popcorn, you're not buying no soda, you're not buying that stuff because you already got your little stash in your bag. But you get in the movie theater and you start smelling that popcorn, and ooh, honey, that popcorn smells so good, and you're just drawn to it. You just drawn up there to that counter, and that counter is just calling you that popcorn, and you see it popping away in the little popcorn machine, and you just drawn to that popcorn. And before you know it, baby, you up there, you gonna get you a bag of popcorn. So that's kind of how it is with a thumbnail. That thumbnail is what's going to draw you in. It's going to catch your eye to begin with. So you got to have a catchy thumbnail. It ain't like how it used to be years ago when thumbnails had to be high resolution and all that stuff. And just a big production like maybe like Mr. Beast used to make. And some of these other well-known high-end content creators, when they're doing those huge, fancy thumbnails, high resolution. No, 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 no. Dante and DoorDash prove that it doesn't have to be high resolution thumbnails. It's just got to be something that's going to grab your attention to make you stop scrolling. You know how we scroll till we find something that looks just right for us. So that's what I'm talking about. Now we know how this YouTube recommendations work. All you got to do is watch one video or two videos on a particular creator on a particular channel, and honey, your feed gets flooded with plenty of their content. You're going to see video after video. So that's why it's so important that you have a great thumbnail that's going to make somebody want to click on it. Because once they click on it and watch it for a few seconds, you got to watch the video. You can't just click on it and click off, because that hurts that person's, that's their click-through rate. You want to at least look at a few minutes or a few seconds of that, that video. And once you start looking at just a few seconds, when you get ready to jump off of that, when you look in your feed over there on the side, on the side over there, or under the bottom, if you're looking at it from your phone, you're going to see you're going to see plenty of videos from that same content creator. And I can tell you this, as a content creator, it hasn't been a long time that I've been doing this, but I've been doing it long enough. Just to know, I can tell you, it takes more than just posting a video to go viral for the most part, or to get a good amount of views. It's going to take plenty of posts. You hear me? It's going to take plenty of posts for the average content creator. It's going to take time. It's going to take perseverance. It's going to take consistency. You're not going to just post one or two videos and think that you just going to blow up on these channels out here in these YouTube streets. Now, another thing is, I say it's a little different from how it used to be. Just a year or two ago, it was just different. Like now, you don't have to do a lot of editing. If that was a thing that was holding you back times past because you didn't know how to edit, you didn't know how to put those little pop-ups in, all those fancy aesthetics and all that stuff. Well, listen, because of that, yes, Again, YouTube is on easy mode when it comes to that, because now you don't have to worry about no fancy edits, all these, you clip into B-roll all the time and all this stuff. It doesn't take all that. Like I said, DoorDash and Dante, they don't do all that. They don't do all that fancy edits and zooming in to, they record these videos. Now, this is what Dante said. Now, and I believe him. I believe him. And I'm pretty sure this is pretty much the same thing that DoorDash does. She may do a little editing, but Dante, he records his videos and he just goes right ahead and he uploads those to that YouTube platform. You don't have to do all that extra editing and all that. So yeah, in that case, YouTube is on easy mode. YouTube is easy compared to how it used to be. You know how it used to be, you see all those flashy things. I mean, people don't have time for that because you don't want to see all that no more. And I'm going to tell you my little story. I mean, I guess I can share it with y'all. Y'all don't tell nobody. But one of the videos I posted, this video sat on my laptop and on my phone for, oh my God, months. I had all of these flashy, edits here. I was putting all these words and all these captions and all these B-rolls. And my son tried to tell me, he was like, Mama, people don't need all that stuff now. People ain't doing all that too much. I'm like, no. You got to do this to keep their attention. You got to do this to retain their attention. You got to have, they say every 2 or 3 seconds, you got to put something in there, grab their attention. So, I just didn't post this video for months and months. And the longer I waited, I found out what he was saying. What he said was right. These young folk, they be knowing what they're talking about. They can tell us a thing or two. So he was right. I had to go back through this video and pull out about 30 to 40% of those flashy little edits and stuff, to the point where I just gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put this video on out here. Yeah, still got all these little B-rolls and all these little flashes, cuts here to there. And I looked at that video when I got done with it, and I was like, well, that's the best I can do, because if I keep cutting this more stuff out, it won't be a video at all. So I just went ahead and put it out there. But I know now you don't have to do all that stuff. You don't have to do all that fancy editing. And like I said, with DoorDash, and I know for sure with Dante, he says he does not do any of that editing. He just records and he posts it right away. So yeah, in that case, YouTube, you go easy mode. And so besides being totally transparent, because people do like people that are real and relatable, and I'm part of those people. I'm the people. I like to see people that are transparent and, and just being relatable. So, yeah, people just know that, hey, people love the tea. Bring me the tea with one scoop of sugar in it. Just bring me the tea. But there are some times when some things you just don't want to share. I mean, I guess people are just different, With me, I've never been one to be on any of the social media platforms. YouTube is actually my very first interaction, to do with any type of social media. I was never on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Think about maybe TikTok. I don't know. I might try that out since they brought it back. The ban didn't last but one day. So that, I don't know. I think about that. But none of those other social media platforms, and YouTube was the one that sort of drew me in. It just drew me in. And like I say, but, some people are just super transparent, and they'd feel comfortable sharing all their life stories and, intimate details. But, hey, to each his own. But like I say, people like to hear, the struggles and, the triumphs as well. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it to a degree. And if you're comfortable with putting all your business out there, because, honey, you got plenty of tea sippers that's all about getting up in your business, then that's fine. That's you. But whatever you decide to create, it needs to be something that you're going to be able to do for the long term. Because if you hit it big and you go viral on a particular topic or a particular niche, I guess you could say, that's what your viewers are going to want to come back to your channel for every time. That's what they're looking for. And if it's something that you don't really, you was experimenting with something and it worked and you saw that it went viral, and now you're stuck in that particular, group or category of things to talk about on your video, and it's not something you really enjoy doing, then you're going to get burnt out, and you're going to start losing viewers as well. It's all about, I guess, experimenting on what works better for you. Once you establish that, what it is that you really are passionate about, then that's what you need to go and, start creating content on. Otherwise, it's going to become like another job, and you're going to be hating, and the whole thing was, for most people, is to try to get out of that 9-to-5 rat race. You don't want it to feel like a job. You want it to be something that you enjoy doing, because because that's what people are going to expect from you when they come to your channel. And if not, they're going to drop off.